Hello, 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 everyone. A stressful time indeed today. Um, but yeah, good evening. Thank you for joining. Good day, good evening, wherever you are. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel like I need a big lottery one as well, Rob. But yeah, today was very much a day of like, hey, maybe like you should manage your cables better. Because one of them was like wrapped around my chair and I didn't realize. And I moved my chair to go speak to Jenna, and I took my entire PC tower with me. And yeah, that was fun. So I picked it back up and heard rattling noises, and like all you need at a PC shouldn't be rattling. They should not be ever making rattling noises. That is bad. I like as well how I've got an extra 6 hours of playtime on this save file compared to my original save file for Skyward Sword HD, and like I've got 2 less hearts. I know I did at least 1 less temple. That means I've gone and collected pieces of hearts worth 3 hearts more than I've currently explored with our current link. Oh, Nate the Adventurer. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for raiding. Thank you. You've come to explore these lands. Well, thank you very much for joining in. That makes me feel a little bit better after just knocking my PC over and being like, man, today's not going well. So thank you very much for joining in. We are literally just booting up Skyward Sword at the moment, and... Wait. Yes, we are about to, oh, hell yeah, bringing the sausages in. Like, just the classic, welcome raiders, just show me sausage, that's what it gets you. That's really nice of you. Thank you for coming over. Yeah, we do celebrate good old sausage dogs over here. But yes, we are about to tackle the temple in the called the Sand Sea. So that's going to be the big fun pirate ship temple. And I don't know why I'm currently back in the sky. I think we just maybe went and visited the well, we just need to dive. My amiibo's not. Is it? Can you take me back to the temple nice and easily? There's no return point. You've never played this Zelda game before? Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a lot easier to play on the HD version, which we are playing on the Switch. The controls were a bit of a ball ache on the Wii. Like, when they worked, they were pretty cool. But it's when they work. That's very much the question. It's just... Yeah, sometimes they worked and they felt cool, and sometimes you were there just kind of like, work, swing. Just kind of, especially the worst one was when, like, the game wants you to, like, stab forward, which I think you have to do in the mini-boss fight of this temple. Yeah, so, I vaguely remember a big pain point within this temple of just the mini-boss fight. I'm fairly certain the motion controls worked really poorly for this. But we are just playing on a Switch Pro controller where we get to just, like, flick the analog sticks instead of messing around with all the motion controls. That'll be incredible. Just, like, there's, like, a secret map hidden in every single game. Do the sand ship, yeah. Go to the sand ship. Oh, nice. Okay, it just teleports us straight to the temple. Nice and easy, so we don't have to drive over there. Yeah, so Matt from Wii Sports, it's like, for some reason in Wii Sports, like, all of the different sports and stuff were programmed with like champions and stuff from different games. Like, so, you know, at the end of boxing, when you got to the end of Wii Boxing, like, through playing against the AI, the, like, hardest challenge was fighting a guy called Matt. And he was just a generic me, like, bald guy with a bit of a beard called Matt. And then, I can't remember which other sport, it may have been, like, tennis, say, for example. He was also a champion in that one. And then in the training room, when you did some of, like, the more, like, boxer size, like, challenges and stuff, he was, bowling or tennis, yeah. I know he was definitely for boxing, but there was also little, like, news, like, clippings and stuff in the background details of, like, Matt being an ex-boxing champion and stuff like this, and he was basically this random me on Wii Sports that was, for some reason, like, then became a meme on the internet because he was just kind of the top-tier boss of Wii Sports. It's just one of those very silly things of, like, a couple of tiny little details, and the fact he just happened to be at the end of a couple of different challenges, but the internet kind of took him and made him meme-worthy, and he became a little note on the Wii community. Oh, wow, okay. So yeah, he was, like, multiple different bosses between Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, yeah. L2. There we go. But yeah, I definitely don't think it's that weird to have, like, had not many games on the Wii and then enjoyed the Wii U a bit more. It's like, the Wii U was very GameCube-like in the sense of it wasn't around for very long. Like, I think the GameCube was around, like, maybe an extra year or so on the Wii U. It didn't sell very well, but the, like, small catalogue of games on it were really good. Whereas Wii was just the shovelware everywhere and a couple of really good games. But not many fantastic ones. $80 games for the GameCube. I've got, like, half of my old GameCube collection because I ended up, like, selling quite a few off pre-owned when it was all person, but, like, I think even when I had the most amount of GameCube games, I probably had about 20 or 30. Just because mainly I'd always, at the time, you know, I was, when the GameCube first came out, I was probably like 9 or 10 or something. So I was constantly just selling my last game to trade it in for the new game that was coming out or what. But yeah, my broke college student phase was mostly most of the games that I sold off to try and, like, afford being social were GameCube ones because they kept their value very well compared to, like, PS2 games. A foil cover for Metroid Prime 2? Yeah, I didn't even know there was a foil cover version of Prime 2. Okay, so I know that the objective in this dungeon is that we, like, have to find a time crystal somewhere, and that kind of helps us open up a lot of the areas. Maybe it is the only version, I'm not sure. The only version of Metroid Primes that I actually owned, I just borrowed them from friends when I was younger, but the only version I actually owned, I got the Metroid Prime Trilogy re-release on the Wii U, just digitally. It was on sale at one point on, like, the Wii U eShop for, I think, about a tenner. And I was like, £10 for the 3 Metroid Prime games? Yeah, I'll take that. Like, even if I wasn't going to play it at the time, it was just a nice cheap pickup. Yeah, I wish I just, like, not even, like, I don't particularly keep many things sealed or anything, but I wish I'd been able to afford, you know, doing other things, or, like, got my priorities a bit more in order, and had, like, a job or something when I was in uni, and, like, didn't sell a bunch of my games, because I really regret getting rid of any of the games I did have. Wish I still had, like, my GameCube collection, some of my like DS and Game Boy games as well. I sold off in the end. The one thing I'm a hoarder about nowadays is my games. Yeah, I know that the rumor at the time when it came out was that I'd heard at least that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 were going to get more of just a regular port with like a bit of an upscaling, rather than similar to kind of what they did with like Super Mario Sunshine, for example, in the 3D All-Stars collection. Rather than like the full kind of proper remaster treatment that they gave Metroid Prime. And that's the thing, you never know with Nintendo, because like even Metroid Prime was reportedly just sat on a shelf for like a year before it came out, and that the same news recently dropped about the Thousand Year Door remake that's just come out, of like, yeah, that's been done for like over a year. Nintendo just been chilling and waiting for it to be the right time to release that game, and I guess they just like probably have got the same with the Metroid remasters. Nintendo just the only company that are just willing to just sit there and be like, it's not time. Are you getting Bandage and Castro on Thursday? That's a nice quick. Like a lot of the time, obviously a lot longer. I guess like, especially with it being on your hand, be like a massive pain in the ass. 8 weeks total recovery time. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously still quite a while, but at least like you're not having an annoying cast on your hand for like, you know, weeks upon weeks. Okay. So there's markings on the floor to tell me which order to hit them in. So, how do I know which order's which? So hit the left. Ah. Because you know where the red one is. So the red is currently at the top. Oh no, it's not where the red is at the top. It's how many? So number 1, there's one red thing there. That's number 1. Hit it from the left. So to here, left, right, left, down. Left, right, left, down. Oh. So number 1 is hit it from the bottom, because I wasn't looking at the orientation the right. Okay. And now, on the top. Yeah, so from where the red is, then the opposite of where the red is, then that would be the top. Okay. Huh. Try that again. Side. Oh, yeah. I do not. Oh, because the red's there. The red is up at all times. Down. There we go. Got there in the end. Just trying to figure out those like multiple different puzzle elements. That was actually a good puzzle, I think. It was, you know, difficult enough that it took me a minute to wrap my head around it, but not so difficult that it felt like bashing my head against a wall. Whereas it's funny listening to people talk about Senua's Saga on the Xbox that's just come out, and people saying it's kind of an even more exaggerated version of what happened in like God of War, Ragnarok, or Horizon Forbidden West, where just basically you start looking for a solution to a puzzle and the game's like, oh yeah, it's over there, don't worry. And you're like, I didn't even know what I was looking at yet, and the game's already telling me the solution. Yeah, exactly. The sort makes you feel clever when you solve it, but not frustrating enough that it feels like you're just bashing your head against a brick wall. Which, you know, we've definitely encountered a couple of times over the last few Zelda games we played. Just a couple where it's just like, I don't know what to do, and like, this is getting frustrating now. But yes, I mean, I've heard good things about Another Crab Strategy, yeah. I've not seen anyone give it anything other than praise. I've heard it's like one of those weird things of, it's really silly until then it's really not. And like, not silly in the sense of like, it stays silly, but it goes like very over the top as far as I'm aware. Oh god, I think this might be the mini-boss bit that I was talking about. Bittles, yeah. Oof. Admittedly, very cool design for a boss. Like, you've got to fight like this robo-captain and basically push him off the plank. But as far as I'm aware, one of the main tactics was to like needing to stab at him or something. I can't quite fully remember. Ah, yeah, like the jabs, the little pokey jabs are very good in the fight, but they're really hard to pull off when you're jabbing at like your screen with a Wiimote. God, that was. Yeah, this is a lot easier than I remember it being. But yeah, it's a cool concept of forcing back a pirate captain off the edge of the ship and essentially making them walk the plank. This was quite a difficult, annoying, frustrating fight on the Wii version, and now it's just the actual button controls are making it look like a cakewalk. I am the crab with a pistol right now. It's like, these button controls sometimes feel like they just made the game easy mode, yeah. That's the thing, is you can kind of see how that would work at the terms of like doing like the one-on-one duel with trying to swipe your sword around and stuff. But it wasn't precise enough that it felt very frustrating. Whereas this is the opposite side, where it didn't feel like enough of a challenge with the button controls. And yeah, bear in mind, a lot of this shit will be using time crystals to like revive the robots and stuff that are on the ship. As we've seen like previous parts of the game, but like that captain, as Fee pointed out just then, is like, it's very tenacious of it to be able to have just stayed functional this entire time. Everything around it, the sea has dried up, and this robot's like, nah, but fuck you, this is my ship. Yeah, they genuinely are, and it's one of those unfortunate things where... Hi Alex, we're doing well today, thank you. We had a bit of a hiccup earlier where I nearly broke my PC, but other than that, we're all good. So yeah, Fee's just like, hey, do you want to go to the ship and do this? Here's your objective. Like, I'm gonna spell out for you. Like, thanks, Fee. It does kind of require a little bit of backtracking, so I can kind of see why they do it. Because it's just a lot of the time you might unlock a new weapon and start going, well, what stuff can I do progressing forward? It's like, no, you need to go back for. So it's annoying, but at the same time, it probably would be more annoying to then wander around for ages not knowing what to be doing with you. Here we go. The coolest part about the temple itself is just... Oh, restore the entire ship, the electrics of it, restore all the enemies, restore all the robots that are working in it, and all of a sudden you're going from walking around derelict ship to, oh hey, we've got an arrow. That was fast. Those enemies are already firing at us. But yeah, it goes from just a derelict ship that you're wandering around and back into, yeah, the functional long ship it used to be. And I don't think they've really done many things in other Zelda games that compare to the like overworld gimmick of what the time shift stones do. They're really cool. And obviously that's kind of more meaning traditional Zelda. I think it's easy to say that something like Ultra Hand completely trumps a gimmick like that. We do finally have the bow. Just literally got it now. But yeah, like Nintendo are pretty good at pushing gimmicks, but at the same time, they're really good at abandoning gimmicks as well. Of like, there's not many games on the Wii U, even made by Nintendo, that really take advantage of any of that functionality. For the most part, it was a cool tech demo in Nintendo Land, was really fun. But other than a couple of maybe not even great gimmicks, like, for example, Star Fox Zero utilized a lot of the Wii U's gimmicks. Not to great use, I think most people would agree. Yeah. The good old TTP times penis. Yes, it's one of those things that just, I mean, Ultra Hand is almost unlimited amount of creativity being added into a Zelda overworld, which is fantastic. Like, there's still people figuring out more and more efficient machines that people can build, or just more dumb machines that you can build. And it is essentially just the equivalent of putting Legos inside the Zelda game. I know. Oh! I mean, like, yeah, people ostensibly have, haven't they? Just figuring out how to build giant mechs. It's just... It never won't be super impressive, and I've seen more recently that people have figured out an easy auto build for making what is essentially a portable tower launcher. Where, like, you know when you go into the... whatever the towers are called, they're not called towers, but the new tower equivalent in Tears of the Kingdom, where you get shot up and scan the map and stuff. People have figured out just a build with a couple of springs at the right angle to then just fly yourself as high as one of those towers can. I mean, I think that's the most impressive part of Ultra Hand, is that they've managed to figure out that game to essentially work without it if you want it to. If you don't really want to do anything, maybe occasionally you might have to build a bridge or something like that, right? But you never really need to do more than maybe glue two pieces of platform together for a puzzle. And that's about as complex as it ever really gets. And there's nearly always ways that you can figure it out by just making Link jump through the air or something like that instead, or just glide around. Yes, I did see that Black Ops 6 would be launching. I think is very good. And, like, I guess we shouldn't be surprised about it, because they've always said, you know, Xbox games day one on Game Pass, but obviously people were just scared of, well, are they gonna, you know, all of a sudden, you know, charge more or not put Call of Duty on Game Pass because it's fucking Call of Duty and it does that many sales and it's that important for Xbox to make money now, I guess. But yeah, ostensibly, we should not be thankful. It should be a case of, good, you fucking told us all Xbox games would be on Game Pass, and you should stick to that word. I am very scared of price increase coming because of it. Because I don't really want to play the Call of Duty stuff on there, and I doubt I will touch it. It's not very likely I will, even with Game Pass, utilize it. And it's great for the people that want it there, but if, because Call of Duty games get added to Game Pass, every player has to play more, that will fucking suck. And if they were gonna go down that route of, no, it's not fair because now we've got to include like this game that sells gangbusters and sells like 10 times more than any other game we own. Like, okay, if that's your argument, make a separate Call of Duty tier. If that's really how fuck things need to get, if we need to raise the price just because of Call of Duty, like, yeah, I will accept them being like, hey, it would be fucking shit because, again, they promised all games day one on Game Pass. That's what they said. That's what they promised us. They should stick to their fucking word on that. But if they turned around, said, hey, Call of Duty's fucking massive. Pay an extra few quid a month to be in the Game Pass plus Call of Duty tier. Like, cool. I guess most people probably be okay with that. Not happy about it, but they'd probably suck it up if they really want to play Call of Duty. Good on them for sticking to the word, and let's just fingers crossed that they don't find some way to fuck it up, or you know, give us a massive price increase for not asking for Call of Duty kind of thing. It's not our fault that you bought Call of Duty to make more money. You're fucking owned by Microsoft and you're a massive corporation. You burden that cost, you burden that decision. But yeah, I'm not gonna be paying attention to Call of Duty really. I'm not gonna be sitting there watching the Call of Duty presentation that they give after the Xbox presentation to do a deep dive into Black Ops 6. I imagine the enshittification is on the way at some point, yeah. It's already kind of been happening, because the, technically, the only way to get Game Pass and get online play is to pay for Game Pass Ultimate. Which... oh my god. I think the way they should have changed it is just, hey, Game Pass now includes online play, and if you want to just pay for Game Pass Core like it was, like it was already Xbox Live, and just, hey, all I want to pay for is online play, and now because it's been like added as like Game Pass Core, we've got these like 20 titles. But yeah, I just think like the idea of getting rid of Xbox Live Gold and making it part of Game Pass, but then not including like online multiplayer perks as part of Game Pass for console is just like, oh god. Yeah, I've seen speculation about like some leaker has turned around and gone, well, certain numbers in a trailer add up to the numbers of like 9/11 or something. That's all I've heard, but that would be intriguing. They would certainly have that, they would get newsworthy attention for a while, I guess. I don't know if that's like something that's maybe too soon, especially with it being like a real life event that is very close for home for Americans, who are the primary audience for the game, right? Like, not to say only Americans play Call of Duty, obviously. Certainly the prime demographic is American players. Like, yeah, it would definitely get you in a lot of headlines, but I think you would have to handle that very delicately to not piss off your prime audience. Because yes, they've covered a lot of other war crimes. They've covered a lot of other historical events in the past. But, yeah, Call of Duty isn't exactly a game known for its grace in the past, and it's certainly, certainly walking on eggshells. Or they would be walking on eggshells if they tried it. And, you know, that's really what they want to do. They can go for it. You know, who are we to tell a creative team what? decisions to make and what stories to write, but feels very weird when A, it's the Call of Duty team with, yeah, not much grace in the past, and B, just when it's like, it's an event that most of your primary players literally, like, lived through and probably have a lot of personal experience. Like, you know, I've heard a lot about, for example, the war in Vietnam or the Gulf War and stuff, but all of that was kind of before I was much of a conscious human being. I was alive during parts of the Gulf War, obviously, but I was like a baby or a toddler or something from the majority of it, and that's where Black Ops 6 is apparently meant to be focusing on, it, the Gulf. Like, primarily, like, early 90s, most part, I would say. As a non-expert. Yeah, it's just they obviously had the No Russian mission, which got them garnered a lot of attention and got in a lot of news articles at the time, and they generally since then have always seemingly had, or nearly everyone has had, some kind of shock factor mission to try and get them in the news since then. Or most, as I say. They've always had something controversial, it seems. I need to change. Unrestored the ship. Made it all old and nasty again. Shut down those electric grates in my way. Gonna be interesting to see if that has any, if it holds any juice, that rumor. Can't personally imagine it's gonna go down very well, but can only hope that they handle it a lot better than we can imagine. It's like, it's such a weird thing when it's coming from an Activision game where it's this massive corporation that have hundreds or thousands of people developing this. It's very hard to make a poignant statement, but also be a big monolithic corporation at the same time. Yeah, there are going to be, like, fortunately, kids playing this game, but you know, there's going to be teenagers playing the game who literally were not alive when it happened. So, yeah. Been, what, 23 years? Yeah, as I say, like, you know, they've covered events in the past, like one of the Black Ops was set in Vietnam, right? And that doesn't affect me as somebody that wasn't alive during that war, but it's something that a lot of Americans would have had, again, experience with and personal experience with, and may have been participants in that and playing that game at the same time. But yeah, it certainly wouldn't surprise me at this point for Call of Duty to do something super controversial on purpose. And they do have that weird trailer that's like the Mount or faces being covered with like "the truth lies" or something like that. I think that's the tagline. So yeah, there's certainly things where you could imagine, like, oh, you know, that's all to do with potentially, you know, stuff around the like the conspiracy theories, maybe, of who was behind it, or maybe just talking about the fact that, you know, the public were lied to about who and what, like, you know, what threats were in Iran, and, like, did they ever have any, like, WMDs when we invaded and shit, like... I'm not sure which video you're referring to. All I'll say is that, like, if it's any information regarding, like, what's come out today, I don't want to know about it, because, like, I saw someone just tweet out, like, hey, this trailer, you probably want to just avoid it if you read about spoilers or anything. It's Destiny related. Yeah, it's a new thing that they're doing where basically it's a subclass of some kind that is kind of like combination of all of your powers together, but in like a kind of, you know, limited way that we're not sure exactly how it works yet. But yeah, it's one of those things of like, oh hey, all of the different subclasses that you've had over the years, they're kind of all coming together to blend into one thing. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how limited it is, because if it's too limited, it's going to feel like a big letdown in terms of like, oh, well, this is really disappointing. It should be a more epic event to combine all of these movesets and powers. But then at the same time, there's such easy potential for it to be busted and broken as fuck. That's the thing, is you want it to be a little bit OP. A little bit spicy to, you know, excite people and get people using it and all that jazz. Can't make it, like, really fucking broken to the point where, like, oh, well, anyone who doesn't buy the DLC is going to have a really shit time because of it, kind of. Which happened a lot with the Stasis stuff back in the day with Beyond Light. Just, well, anyone that was trying to do PvP stuff that wasn't using Stasis was just having an awful day. But at the same time, you don't want people to be like, hey, here's one of the coolest brand new things in the new expansion that you've just spent a bunch of money on, and kind of mediocre and not very exciting. Can't have that either. I'll go floor below. On get to. Lost. All the thing. Got the bit. I'd have dropped all down. Let's run this way first. Check we're not. Because that seems suspicious. That there's just a weird dead end there. But we'll stick with my current way of thinking at the moment. What was it? Oh yeah, this was just... go. There definitely should have been a backstab me. Just saying. I love that Link can just do that fatal blow leap miles into the air. The stamina man himself. I don't know. Manama with the stamina? That works, right? No, no! No, they just walked around the beetle! No! Get right. They definitely should have two separate buttons for, like, the same button that you use the item with, you also use to change what item you're using, and that definitely should. So if you hold it, you go to item selection, and if you press it, you go to use the item, and it's very jarring at times. Geronimo. Fuck you. Oh, okay. I thought Link might have the ability to kind of kick them off or something, but no. Oh. I'm thinking maybe we can just drop down. So I think we could try and do something. Try and make a heart here. Let's just get Ruby. Just like stuff. Oh, there we. My jank looking rupees again. That'll do. We're doing well enough. Oh my god, 100 rupees. Holy shit. Popping out of a wall. Yeah, this really doesn't help me because I thought this might have been the way to go. But this is just a little hidden piece of heart. On a way back up. That's a little bit gutting. The good thing I didn't ask for any hearts when it just gave me a piece of heart and fully recovered anyway. Didn't. Maybe we need to go down there. It's the old raidage. The lowest state. Maybe it's like Link's Awakening. That might be the one, just because... I mean, A, you find out that it's all just kind of a dream anyway. But B, it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess, like, to get off the island, you need to awaken the windfish and stuff like that, but I don't think there's stakes involved, if I can remember correctly, when I did play through it. Go down when it... Fancy. But yeah, as far as I can remember, kind of, even the reason to do any of your objectives in the game is just kind of like to get off the island. Need to get to the archives. Can't get out of here while I'm targeting. The engine room is right below this brick. Corridor from the engine room connects. Bridge. Get through the engine room. Yeah, need to activate the 2 power generators in the engine. We turned on one of the power generators. Wait, the other one. Okay, fine. Thank you for helping me figure out my objective right now, Mr. Man. Little robot boy. Yeah, so the other answer, like, is also maybe the other one that could potentially be a dream all along, which is Majora's Mask, in terms of low stakes, but the stakes presented to you within Majora's Mask are the fucking, at least the town is going to be blown up, if not more of the world, because the moon is going to crash into the earth. And taking the game at face value, that's pretty, you know, nasty odds, right? Like, not something to be taken lightly. I didn't press this game through. Sometimes it's just nice for the game to be like, hey, you did everything right, but you just kind of walked past this one thing that you were meant to activate. Just go do that as well. Because in my head, that room was ticked off. Like, I'd done the things in those rooms. But I'd activated one power generator, saw the cutscene, and gone, oh, job's done. Cool. So what does that mean? Oh shit, okay. Engine. See what he... But it'll be where we just activated the power gem. Back we go! This is the one thing where I'm just like, please, dear God, why can't we upgrade our summoner in this game? Yeah, that's what I was arguing actually. Yeah, like, the only one I could really think of. Low stakes wise. Yeah, arguably Link's Awakening, because it's probably just a dream. Like, the stakes set within that world are still just, even then, like, if you don't suppose it's just a dream, it's like, well, Link's just trapped on an island and wants to get off and has to awaken the windfish to do so. Wait. Oh, yeah. I never really noticed that little thing of, like, the map is surrounded by, like, the rough shape of a bottle, so it's almost as if there's, like, a ship in a bottle kind of thing. And obviously that's just the shape of the ship. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, just the shape of the ship, like, expanded out a little bit, but it looks like it's a ship in a bottle. Ah. It must have to be intentional, you would assume so, yeah. To get out of the way to go. Yeah, if it's not intentional, it certainly seems like it should be. Which is always the way you want it to be. Like, it looks intentional if it wasn't. It's the same way that I often talk about the writing in One Piece, where everything clearly wasn't planned from the start. But as you get further and further into One Piece, the way that it's written and connects up makes it feel as though Oda had planned a lot of this out the whole time, which is the important thing. It's not necessarily whether he did plan it all out. He writes it in a way where, like, I did that a little bit early. It's just written in a way that, as a viewer, you go, oh hey, like this links up to this and this links up to that, and it all feels really interconnected and intentional. It's not necessarily, like, important whether it was all thought out to begin with. What's important is that it feels like it. And that's the thing, there's, like, clearly stuff where, like, certain powers that are kind of, like, more obvious now that maybe weren't really shown in, like, the original parts of the manga and stuff, like, all, like, with, you know, I won't try and get into spoilers or anything, but, like, colours of arms and like, that kind of powers, they weren't really animated back in the day, but you could kind of argue that maybe for the sense of the narrative, it's like those, you could argue those characters were still using those powers, but maybe they weren't being perceived as being used from the perspective of Luffy, like, who I guess is almost the character where, you know, we're getting the perspective from the story of. Yeah, it's like, all that kind of shit is like, it's probably, like, implied that it's there, if not outright shown in examples, but yeah, they're not really flushed out, or they're not really shown until later, and a lot of the time it could at least be implied that, hey, we don't know about this and can't visualize this as a viewer yet, because we haven't reached the point in the story where we know about it. Episode 50 or so. Does that mean you got to, like, Arlong Park? Or the end of Arlong Park? Trying to place in my head now where Logue found it. Just after Arlong, I thought so. I think it's always one of those things for me, but multiple times is, I think people always frame it the wrong way. Of like, oh well, it gets good after like Arlong Park, or gets good at Arlong Park, and it's no, the show's always good. It's just that if you don't like it by the end of Arlong Park, it's definitely not for you, kind of thing. Arlington Parkington. We can rescue the little robots. My circuits are glowing with happiness. We came on board to find Nehru's flame, yeah. Reveal it, you're gonna have to regain control of the ship. Control room is next to the brig, but it's a huge door. It's still shutting you. Open it. Should find. Head to the captain's cabin. Control room. Ah, yeah, so the captain's cabin is behind that other small key. Locked door. It looks like you can handle this, Link. Where the fuck? We're getting the fuck out. Rewatched My Hero Academia. Yeah, that. It's like, it's one thing to be like, oh hey, you know, I decided to watch Demon Slayer instead. Fair enough, whatever, it's popular. The audacity to be like, I just want to rewatch all of My Hero instead. Just tie them to a chair for 50 episodes, it's fine. I hear people love being completely forced to watch things. It's like when one of my friends got really frustrated because they sat a few friends down and basically like told them for their birthday, like, you're all going to sit here and watch the extended Lord of the Rings because I really like Lord of the Rings. And it was not a democratic vote. It was, this is what I am doing for my birthday and you are all here watching it for the next 48 hours. And then they got mad that people were not really, like, super sold on it and not really on board with it. That's not really the way to get somebody into the experience of liking Lord of the Rings, though. That's the kind of movie marathon that you reserve for already being a fan of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, no worries, Shadow. Obviously, we got off to a bit of a late start today, but yeah, thank you for joining in. Being in chat, always appreciate it. Yeah, like, it's frustrating trying to bang on at someone being like, please watch this thing that I'm recommending. And then like, oh, I haven't got the time, but I did just rewatch all of My Hero Academia. It's like, no! Or like, I don't want to commit to 50 episodes of a show, but I did just watch 100 episodes of My Hero again. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. Oh. Watching for all that twice. I know it's like got a lot of Easter eggs from the games, and I never really sat there and immediately thought to myself like, man, I have to rewatch Fallout and meet. Didn't strike me as a show to go and watch again. Not unless, you know, maybe when it comes around to like season 2 coming out or something. Yeah. How rough is that though? Oh what, you're gonna blow your horn on me, alert everyone that an enemy is here. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn you all to skeletons. I'm literally going to just age up the ship again, turn off this time crystal. And the worst part with the time crystal is, like, it encapsulates such a big area. You're gonna see that time crystal get hit again and know that you're about to be turned back into skeleton. You're gonna have a couple of seconds to be like, oh, fuck. Especially the one that was right in the middle who blew the horn. They've got the longest to wait. But you're going back to just being dead now. Fuck you. Oh yeah, I'm definitely a comfort viewer for sure. I think my defense is always, well, if I'm not watching something new, I'm watching something in the background playing a game. And even sometimes when it is new, I'm you know, also playing a game at the time. Like, normally if I'm rewatching a comfort show, it's that I'm rewatching it while it's on the background while I'm playing Destiny or something like that. Whereas if I was to watch something, you know, else, it wouldn't be something new, because again, I'd want to give something new my attention and time of day. Like, I did rewatch, I did watch X-Men 97 with it on, like, while I was also gaming, but at the same time I feel as though that is generally, like, a bit of, you know, a more simpler story, and I can kind of wait for the action beats and watch them properly, but a lot of the story is kind of, you know, not the most intense. Like, it's pretty, you know, decent comic book writing, but it's not the most, like, you know, I have to pay attention to every word and in the script kind of viewing. But yeah, right. I often look. I have a bunch of different shows that are just on a massive loop cycle between, you know, things like Always Sunny, Parks and Rec, The Office, Always, did I say Always Sunny? Like, other ones, like Arrested Development, just a bunch of, like, sitcoms that you can just whack on in the background and kind of half watch while I'm doing something else. But I don't often comfort watch something sat down paying attention to it. That's when if I'm just gonna sit down and pay attention, that's better, isn't it? A few things that I want to give a fair shot. I think we have to be in this part of the timeline. The boss door. Have any fairies? Don't have any fairies. No. Don't particularly know where to eat. Here was... Oh, that's all. Assuming we only get one use of them, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's just try to do the boss with no fairies. We've got... what, like... 12 hearts that we've got now? Yeah, we've got 12 hearts. That's not too bad. Could faff around, go figure out where some fairies are, try and buy a bigger quiver for my arrow, like my bow and arrow, but I say we. One of the, after a pretty cool temple, like, I think it is weird how much you have to backtrack in. And I definitely didn't ever have, like, this temple as quite high up as the last temple that we did. Like, the heaven and hell aspects. But the time shift stones were always something that kind of elevated this temple for me. The boss battle, I can't necessarily say does the same thing. And I'll leave it at that, and we'll see how it holds up in reality compared to what I'm just remembering. But always was a bit of an odd one, as far as I can remember. Also, Ross, I've just noticed that AHS. I don't immediately think of what that would be. Oh, American Horror. So yeah, very, like, fitting with the supernatural vibes of her kind of They're both very similar vibe-wise. It's very funny as well. Like, there is a weird amount of crossover between Doctor Who and Supernatural fans. Like, I think it makes sense, but there is like a massive kind of a... Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, this bit's really cool. Because this bit is like you're on a sinking ship getting attacked by these giant tentacles. These tentacles belong to a monster of considerable size. Yeah, definitely do have a genre from the sounds of it. Also, I saw earlier that you put up, like, a picture on the Discord of, like, having the doggo shirt. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if you've noticed that I've got, like, ones with Cade and Oryx on. They're very cool. I love them. Is that I just keep wanting to build a collection of them now. Indicate, like, signs indicate that the ship is under attack. What gave you that impression, Fee? If we do nothing, there is an 80% chance the ship will capsize. I recommend forcing it back with sacred power and then exiting to further assess the gun. Yeah, I remember once, like, again, no idea why, nothing like them, but I got told I had blonde hair and ginger beard at the time. Kind of do now, I guess, at the same time, but like, some really drunk guy while I was catering an event, like, just, you know, I was serving as part of like a catering agency. One of my random weird jobs that I did for a bit. And yeah, this drunk guy was just like, hey, you look like that, like, Chris Hemsworth dude, like the Thor guy. And I was like, no, I fucking don't. What are you on about? I'm like 5'7" and was like a skinny, tiny person at the time as well. Like, that was like maybe when I was at my like skinniest point ever. And I was just like a tiny ginger kid that's like 5'7" and just half the size of Chris Hemsworth, and they were, you look like that Thor guy. I was like, what? Why? No, I don't. And the answer is, he was just pissed as a fart. Yeah, and I'm pasty as shit, yeah, which Chris Hemsworth definitely ain't. But yeah, that little like attack sequence is like kind of cool. It's a little bit, you know, when you slow down and don't sprint through it, it is just kind of okay. There's no actual emergency going on here, but it's a cool idea. And then this pops up. And yeah, you would all be right in saying that that is definitely a character out of Monsters, Inc. I can't remember her name now for the life of me. But that is definitely like Mike Wazowski's girlfriend without the snakes at the end of her hair. It's like, why all of a sudden does like this giant tentacle monster look like a fucking Pixar character? Like, this is not intimidating in any way, shape, or form, and it's very disappointing. I know it begins with a... Oh, man. Like, fake monster link. Okay. Come on. There we go. But yeah, compare this to the last battle that we did against Colossus, where it was like this supremely cool like battle against this really cool enemy, and you rip the limbs off and use the weapons against them. And this is like, oh hey, we fight like a Pixar-ass looking tentacle monster that's really boring. At the end of, like, as I say, like, not the best temple, but a pretty cool one in terms of, like, again, it's like the setting more than anything. Just how often in Zelda games, even in Wind Waker, we didn't get like a pirate ship dungeon. We did get the ghost ship, admittedly. But yeah, I really appreciate the fact that they make the effort more than not to change up the theming a bit of it. It's not just another fire temple or another light temple. It's like, hey, you're on like a cool time-shifting pirate ship. Tend to move a bit too much before they get the hits in. Oh, God. Come on, Link. Oh my God, Link, get a little bit closer. Come on. There we go. Can't remember if there's a phase 2 to this or not. Oh, okay, yeah. My arrows. Getting knocked away. Come on, Link. Come on. Nice and easy. See, what Link should have done really is just like bring a time crystal with him. Just hit the time crystal. That's all you, I guess, would technically need to do right now, right? Because the moment the water goes away, this monster can't just exist in the sand, I don't think. Be a ballsy play. Come on, come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. It's even got the snakes at the end. I forgot about that. Oh, man. I can feel the Disney, just the Mickey Mouse Corporation coming in. The lawyers are on the phone right now. Oh, I didn't actually see results from the Pokemon tournament. Is it just, like, hilariously all over the place? Oh, it's not, it doesn't begin with an S. It begins with C. It's Celia. Celia from Monsters, Inc. And, David W. Let's just right now. Get a picture up, shall we? You're gonna tell me this was not the boss that we just fought? Like, is that not basically just the same thing? Just a bit chunkier? God. Like, man, that is, I contend, like, one of the laziest boss designs It's right up there with, like, anglerfish. Dear God. I mean, Clefairy's a bit of a monster. So we want to grab this. So Calyrex Shadow, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Extreme Rapid, Tornado. Yeah, like, Clefairy is a little beast. I remember not long ago, I think it might have been a Wolfie video, where they were talking about the Clefairy potential. Of, like, the Wolfie VGC guy who's, like, won a couple of tournaments and stuff. I think he's, like, the highest, like, player in terms of, like, who's won the most tournaments or something. Very prolific. I'm not saying, like, oh, that Wolfie guy is of, like, oh, he's not a big guy. It's like, no, he's, like, huge. In the competitive scene, obviously, and he's a big commentator and stuff for them and everything. Yeah, I think it was one of his TikToks or videos or something that I watched where they'd mentioned, like, the potential power of Clefairy. I love this. Like, why again, why is Fee not just casting fireballs? Like, at least as far as I'm aware, and as far as, you know, English-speaking Pokemon players go, like, if you want to know something about Pokemon VGC stuff, it's like Wolfie's the person to go. That doesn't bode well for me. Like, oh, hey, you got more things to be able to douse for. Doesn't that sound exciting? You got more dowsing slots? Yeah, I'm on the 5th ranking team. What I love about Ditto is just it's always a not bad option. It's never the best option, but it's always a decent thing to have, because guess what? You just copy one of your opponent's Pokemon. When is that really a bad option? Because your opponent's never bringing bad Pokemon with them, right? So even if you're copying one of the lesser members of the team, you're still copying a Pokemon that's valid enough to make it into a team. Oh god, that battery on my, like, mouse has got to the point where it's like nil. Oh shit. So they're just like, oh yeah, my old ship was pretty wrecked up, but yeah, me and my crew just got on it. It wasn't that hard to fix up. It's like, oh shit, like these little scrapper bots know what they're fucking doing. Oh damn. The victory sausage. I've just, especially this being the follow-up boss to Coloctus. Like, what a disappointing thing. Like, maybe the, you know, agreed upon by many fans as maybe the greatest boss in Zelda history, being Coloctus. And it's followed up by that weird, like, chunky Medusa that just doesn't really pose any threat and looks goofy as shit. What a letdown in comparison. I wish Dax won better. It's just the only thing that it's good at is like well-baked body press, and it's not got the stats to be so predictable. An office clerk isn't the scariest thing in the world. What office clerk? Get away from these things. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, she's a secretary, yeah. Might resolve you too. That fell linked. Take the fall. And yeah, I say a secretary, like, I think as a just secretary, not trying to imply, like, you know, any lesser of that. I don't think I'm in a position to have any shitty, disparaging comments taken seriously in that regard anyway, of like person that tries to make money on fucking YouTube and Twitch. If anyone's in a position to like have their job be called like, you know, not a proper job kind of vibe, it's definitely mine. When you struck the crest with a skyward strike from your sword, a message goddess a week within my memory. That's the thing, I think it's like so impressive that Link can take those drops and just walk it off. That's why I love doing it. Oh yeah, I guess that like drop that would kill most people. Yeah, that did like a 13th of my health that I'm going to immediately recover. Cool, got it. The last of the sacred flames lose you to obtain it most sacred gift. While you overcome, you should be blessed. Gift, yeah. Make use of the gifts and we'll find them. Go to Elden Volcano, the one location you haven't returned to. Like, yeah. We kind of figured at this point, like, you know, the first thing that we did was revisit area number 1. Do a trial that got us a new item that led us to the first flame. Then we went to area number 3, Lineru. Did a trial that got us another item that let us get further in and find the second flame. So yeah, it's kind of implied that we're just going to do the same thing in a different area again. Din's power. I wonder what piece of the Triforce we're going to get next. Is it the Triforce of power that we have left to get? Maybe. I suggest we travel to Elden Volcano. Good advice, V. Again, I don't exactly remember what bullshit is left in this game, other than doing the Elden Volcano equivalent of what we've been doing in the last few streams. But the fact that it unlocked up to like 7 dowsing places for me to enjoy, it doesn't encourage me because dowsing is so boring. Guess we see what is at the rainbow. hearts. Oh. I'm presuming it doesn't look like we have any chests that we can here, but we can grab a couple of chests over by the island. And I guess we could go try out the Bamboo Island minigame as well while we're here. Just because, like, as we powered up the sword twice, it now means it's, like, near its maximum length. Which does actually affect how good you are at the bamboo minigame. So one of those very little silly things, or even the game acknowledges, yeah, your sword is quite a short sword at this moment. Maybe you shouldn't be trying this bamboo game until you come back with a bigger sword. Trying to sword shame Link. I think just 2 chests on this island here. Oh, that means there's like 3 chests on this island? Yes, there is. Oh, well, good job, Link. Didn't want to, like, just go and climb on those vines. Oh, life medal. So, sense the item check. Oh, very... I was just waiting for that moment. Like, you've got too many items in your item pouch, so we're putting it back in there. 4 shots for. Potion medal. Carry this to prolong the effects of a potion. If you've got this, remember to pack a lot of potions. Oh, so a couple of just little medals there for us to acquire. No, it doesn't let us douse for heart pieces. It just gives you an extra heart if you have it in one of your 8 pouches. Or, like, potentially 8 pouches. You only start off the game with, I think, 4 and then buy another 4. So, yeah, we got 8 pouches. Say, for example, here, just a heart medal. Like, it just gives you 1 extra heart. And obviously that's temporary, but, like, yeah. If you, I think there's, like, 3 or 4 that you can equip to just give yourself extra hearts if you want. Let's go. Try and get the max prize again of like 500 or whatever. Oh, oh, oh no. Come on. There we go. What side of the line is that? Oh! Oh! God, that was like... On the line!
Yes.
Ugh. That was so rough. Try it once more. It's a really risky way of trying to do it, of like going the opposite way around, because as you can see, like I just kind of had to. Oh! I had to try and just do it on blind faith and kind of hope that I knew where I was going. Clearly, it didn't work perfectly. I can try and do it this way, but then just, yeah, it's really hard to like keep up with the pace of the spin. 6 whole rupees, let's go. One last try. I think going the opposite way is the way to go, but just a lot harder to do. But like trying to keep up, Link doesn't have the same speed as the things. You have to kind of try and get ahead of it and then keep up with it, and it's really complicated. Link just unfazed by that amount of flips, yeah. Now imagine this, but doing all of this by tilting a Wiimote around. That's what you've always got to remember. It's just like everything in this game. It's just... On. Oh, we didn't land. Oh, we would have landed on it. Oh, I didn't land on the circle. I predicted where it was going to be. But I didn't land on the spinning part of the circle. I landed it. Oh. That's twice out of 3 that we've been, like, that close. There we go. Oof. I'm getting, like, alright at predicting where it's gonna go, though. So, like, in my head, it's roughly... like, nearly, but not a full circle loop from where it is when you go through the last one. If that makes sense. So when I go through that last ring, trying to clock where it is as I hit that 10 times multiplier, and then I'm like, it's like, you know, just over 3/4 of the way around that circle again. A barbarian. That sounds great. Like, is it... What's the scenario? Like, is it like, well, I will try to be a bard and charm you and play some music, but if that doesn't work, we're just gonna fucking Like, if music is not an option, then fists are. Is it that kind of deal? Every enemy is pushing. That's very true. Also, hi Jake, thank you. A deep gnome? I'm unfamiliar with what a deep gnome is. Just face it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I'm really at, like, ground fucking zero in terms of how much I know about that game or D&D builds. And... Oh no, Link! No! Okay, I need to get better with, like, flicking the stick rather than, Gotta give it a flick rather than give it a more. Next time, go for 20 cuts. I feel like we did a pretty poor job and still got 18 there, though. And we gained 20 rupees. There we go. No. 31. A humdingalinga of a score. Fuck yes, it is. A golden skull. I'd have probably preferred a better thing than that. Okay. Sure. Oh, that's a much better technique. And there, like, flick the right way with my right thumb, and then flick the left way with my left thumb, and then because I was struggling to get both directions going. No way is this thing I've done 40 cuts. It says you only reached that score a few times. Like, nah, mate. You want to be Link. You have not done 40 slices. No! Yeah, it's still tough, but... You want to do 28 chops next time. Very specific number of chops there. Not like it's like round numbers or you would expect it to be. Oh shit. No, no, why did you... Oh! Yeah, I'm hooking it up with my left thumb sometimes. Obviously I'm not used to the precision flicking with my left thumb. Yeah, again, it's like, maybe if I do it this way. Trying to hold, like, the controller in the best way for maximum slicage. Yeah, and then there's moments where you just... You know what, fuck it. We got a couple of cool pieces of materials. Got a couple of high-level materials and basically earn our money back. Good enough for old Linky. Just, you could see at times where, like, I was doing stuff and Link was moving his arm, but it wasn't enough of a big movement on the analog stick to warrant an actual slice because I was trying to mash too much. A mushy mash instead of a quick flick. I'll take your word. Again, I'm just like, that's words right there. Those are classes. Those are levels and classes. maybe real thing. It's gonna be exciting when I get to actually play it myself and like learn what all of these different classes do and what these races do and all this jazz. It's gonna be fun to explore. Okay. I don't have 1600 rupees, Beetle. And now you get real mad at me. You know, real mad at me for like inspecting something in a shop that I couldn't afford, but I don't remember how much that piece of heart costs. Fine, we'll sleep on his ship until he goes. Or not. There is. Okay. There's some chest on this island that we can open. I mean, I wouldn't appreciate window shopping if the thing that, you know, if my shop was powered by me having to, like, cycle permanently forever. I don't think I'd appreciate someone coming in and just milling around and going, yeah, not anything today. So I understand why that must be a literal pain.
Hey!
Let's go. Upgrade the bow straight away. That power.
Okay!
Come on, Gonzo. Do your thing. Oh, increase top power and can launch arrows further. We need to get one Hornet Panther. We need 5 more Tumbleweeds to make a Sacred Bow. We can upgrade the Sacred Shield, but I don't feel like we need. So I think we're close to the point where we can... We can locate treasure with dowsing. That is useful. Okay. What that was. Ugh. You know what, just send it to the item check. There's nothing wrong. Not like, oh hey, that guy's back, I'm so happy or anything like that. But, if you think about how often we meet, you have to admit that our relationship has gone beyond employee and customer, you know? That I've got a lot of loot, and you're the only person that can deal with, like, swapping my loot out. Please forget everything I just said, okay? Get it together, be professional. So she basically is just like super lonely and Link's the only person that pays any attention to this person. And now they're just like, oh, you visit me because you're interested, right? Definitely because you're interested and not... Oh wait, a life medal. You're right, maybe. Because I had a heart medal, not a life medal. So maybe the life medal. Oh, life medal, your maximum number of hearts increased by 1. And then the heart medal, hearts will appear more often as you're carrying it. So it was right, but I did compare it to the wrong thing, but yeah. We don't need it.
Bye.
Buy this cool quiver. But 5 extra arrows. Oh, let's go upgrade that quiver. 5 extra arrows. Rip off.
Hey!
Yes, please. Upgrade that shit. Go. Try and see if we can upgrade again. Dean. Make use of that Goddess Plume and Gold Skull that we just got. Done. Sure, you can upgrade it any further. Oh. 15 arrows for a quivering bud, but when it's like... Oh, use an entire pouch space for 5 arrows. I mean, we'll maybe talk about doing, like, the side quest when we've done the Elden portion. I feel like maybe we do the next temple, and then that should be at a point where we can pretty much do all of the side quests at once, rather than piecemealing them out. We can just, like, have a stream where we go do a bunch of side quests and get a bunch of gratitude crystal. Don't want... Our shield heals itself, we don't need it. Something that restores our shield. Thing that just makes you invulnerable for a certain period of time. Oxygen potion, okay. Maybe we'll just get like a stamina 1 and a health. So make your stamina gauge decrease at a slower rate. And want to restore some hearts. And then we should be able to go speak to the guy to maybe imbue them with more power. Keep your stamina gauge from going down for a short time. We just... Maybe not make light of the fact we've got that potion, just... use it if we really need it. But that's 3 minutes of your stamina being unlimited. Okay, this one. The bug allowance. And this one is... all of your hearts will be restored. Cool. And then we can just... Oh, hang on, wait. We can infuse that further? What? What does this do? Restores hearts to the maximum, can be used twice. Fuck it, why not? Could we not take that up? Wonder if you can... Yeah, we can't improve them any further than that, but that's A double full heal. That's very good. For the sake of one bottle. I don't. Realize that. We maxed out at 1200, but the piece of heart was 1600. A couple of other chests. And go and just open quickly. By this beacon here. And the exit and beacon. Yeah, it'd be really nice if the dial-off bits were a bit faster, but alas. Alas. Don't need to go through pumpkin right now. Like, even like the boost button kind of thing just doesn't feel very fast. Let's first go to this Beetle Island all the way up here. And like a quick dive down to not only Beetle just working the fuck out to power his shot, but also living just like essentially the bloody peak of the map. Nearly the highest spot on the map is Beetle's Island. It might actually be the highest thing up on the map. Piece of art. Decent way. Down this way. Doesn't even take damage from that. We just use our unlimited stamina potion for just this tiny little climbing bit. Oh. There is a chest here. One? Yeah, it must be. We may have just knocked bombs the last time we came here. Not sure. Creepy. Okay. Oh. Off to Elden. The only time you feel like you're even going moderately fast. And even then you slow down almost immediately. Dive bomb down. Come on, Elden. Meant to go. I just say Tamberlin. He's dousing a trail. Cool. Well, in that case, then, we shall leave it there just at the beginning of this section. And then that way, that next time we can just jump straight into the Elden stuff. And that will be in like 2 weeks' time rather than next week. Having next week off. And then, yeah. Thursday evening, we will be doing Pokemon, just doing some Pokemon battling, like competitive battling on Scarlet and Violet. And then, yeah, that'll be my, like, last stream for the, like, week and a half that I'm off. And return, like, a week on Monday to Mass Effect Mondays after. So, yeah, it'll be next Thursday, and then after that, my streams will be back a week on Monday, so it'll be like the 10th of June, and we'll be off for like June 3rd through 9th, which also means I won't be doing like reaction streams to Summer Games Fest and those kind of stuff like I usually do. Will there be a podcast next week? Yes. So tomorrow we're live streaming a podcast as usual, and today we recorded next week's podcast. So we have recorded a podcast today to go out next week, and we will be live streaming this week's podcast tomorrow like usual. So content will still all be fine Wiki Weekends wise, it's just streaming wise, I can't get ahead on streaming. I can get ahead of editing podcasts and stuff. So Wiki Weekends content will all be out as usual. We'll just record ahead and stuff like that. But yes, it's not like I can just pre-record streams. Although, maybe I could. Like, no one would notice that I'm not interacting with chat for 2 hours, right? Like, that makes sense, yeah? But yes, yeah, just... It's easy enough to get ahead on Wiki Weekend stuff. Not easy to get ahead with streaming or anything. That's not really possible. Unless we just did completely interactless streams. Which would just kind of defeat the purpose, really. But yeah, I currently don't have any power left in my mouse. I'm hoping my stream deck can end my stream. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I hope everyone has a lovely day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Buddy, give this work.